they've maintained, adoption levels that are, between 80 and 95%, pretty consistently, which is, not the easiest thing to do, especially when only three people are sort of managing your content for several hundred folks. And then they have a trust score that's really unbelievable. It's really been maintained between 90 and 100%. So you can see that those kind of actions that they're doing here on this previous slide are really paying dividends in terms of people being able to trust the information that they find in Guru and keep going back to Guru as a source of truth. Around the time of the COVID pandemic, they switched to Guru to enable all of their remote workers, all of their field educators with the content that they needed, and that and Guru allowed them to make sure that this information was going to be compliant. But they were faced with this challenge that is really like, how do you keep all this complex content up to date with and compliant with a really small content writing team? So a lot of customers that I've talked to in my time here at Guru are in a similar situation where they have a lot of content and only a handful of content writers. So Momentum is actually only using really 3 content kind of experts to manage all of their content around internal operations. And so they actually have around 750 cards in about 12 different collections that are broken up sort of based on their compliance processes and their different products. And all of those hundreds of cards go through basically 3 content experts. So their information is highly locked down. And what I mean by that is that only those 3 content experts can really actually publish changes or publish new content. And so they have approval workflows, which is a Guru feature that you can enable for your collections. But by and large, most of their new knowledge ticket submission requests come through Azure. And so they use Azure to kind of curate requests, generally from like leadership and other folks who are going to request that these 3 content trainers and experts actually develop new cards inside of Guru. And they have like a 1 to 2 week sort of turnaround time for their trainers to kind of create new cards. Also routinely check the analytics inside of Guru to fill knowledge gaps. So they're looking weekly into the analytics fields like searches producing results, searches producing no results, questions that were asked and unanswered. They're looking at those different analytics fields to see what people are searching for and not able to find inside of Guru, and using that to enhance their content. Use kind of like basically a company newsletter sort of every Thursday that they send out, and that goes to everyone inside of Guru with all the updates that are coming around the company. So everything from like IT updates, leadership updates, but also updates to their day-to-day like sort of workflows or new compliance measures that they need to be aware of. That's also really big for compliance because announcements gives them that ability to make sure that people actually read these updates and hold them accountable to that. And so for a company that has so many sort of legal regulations and requirements to meet, being able to know that their team has confirmed that they've actually read these updates to, highly sensitive matters is really, really crucial for them. Here, they've been able to have a really consistent output. And so in this graph, you can kind of see the sort of darker orange is is cards created each month. The sort of lighter orange is announcements being sent. The pink is cards updated. And the sort of teal is kind of cards deleted. And I wanted to show this because I think it's a really great illustration of how active they are with maintaining their content. You can see that every month they have, several new cards getting updated, several new cards getting created, announcements sent frequently. And I think it's crucial to call out here that they're also deleting cards regularly. A lot of folks focus on like adding content and updating content, but in terms of like optimizing your search experience and optimizing findability and keeping your trust score high, it's also important that you're doing like regular sort of routine cleanup. And so getting stuff out of your Guru instance that's really not serving your team anymore is also important. And so you can see that, in some months they're deleting almost, 30 cards in that month. And so that's also a sort of key part of their content health strategy. And you can see that it's led to really high adoption throughout their couple years with Guru here.